Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't sound like a fraud. It 100% is a fraud.
Welcome back to Advocacy, Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. Imagine handing over 400,000 in gold bars, wrapped in Christmas paper, to a 21-year-old stranger who says he's helping to stop a scam, but it turns out he is the scam. This happened in Martin County, Florida. That's Stewart, Florida. And our subject is Tejaskumar Patel. He's currently in jail and facing 3 serious felony charges. Let's walk through a fake Amazon scheme turned into a full-blown sting and why prosecutors aren't taking this lightly. With that, let's jump in.
So you're calling in about a fraud?
Yes.
So what's going on?
Well, I got, last week I got a call from supposedly Amazon telling me that somebody was trying to purchase stuff using my identification. So they called to verify it. I said, no, that's not me. I don't know anything about it. And they said, well, this sounds like fraud. And they connected me supposedly with, I'm guessing, some kind of a bureau or something in Washington. I talked to a young lady there. She filled me in. I gave, she put me through to supposedly an investigative agent in the Social Security Bureau. They, I have, in fact, I have on my phone, I have a whole bunch of charges against me, my Social Security number involving, I don't know, eight banks and a whole bunch of stuff, and money that supposedly went to Syria. And this agent called me up, and I did what he asked. I gave him 2 ingots of 2 kilos of gold to protect my savings and checking account.
I'm sorry, you did what?
I gave him 2 kilos. I didn't give him directly. I gave it to somebody in a car. And I'm confusing myself here. Anyway, where I'm at is he asked me to liquefy my stocks. I have a couple of CDs and have a big annuity. He asked me to liquefy all of them to gold. And when I talked to my JP Morgan bank lady, she said to me, "This sounds like a fraud." She said, "Doesn't sound right." So I spent.
So you're telling me that you gave someone 2 kilos of gold?
Yes.
What carat?
I'm sorry?
What carat gold? 24 carat?
99.9% pure.
Okay.
The key, they're bars, actual bars.
Yeah.
No, they're about playing court size, I guess.
And you gave them on behest of an investigator and to someone in a car that pulled up into your place?
Yeah, that's
yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't sound like a fraud. It 100% is a fraud. No one does business that way, especially not a government entity.
Well, I have.
So how much is one of those gold bars?
Well, it was $154,000, 2 bars.
So one bar is $154,000, or
no,
both?
One bar was, I don't know, split in half.
Okay, so $154,000. And when did you give them this?
You know what? I think, what's today? Monday, I think.
You gave that to them on Monday?
I have a copy of this guy's card, his name, his badge number.
Sir, that's not a real person. I will get that information from you, but that's not a real person.
And I also have copies on my phone of all the warrants out for my arrest.
Yeah, sir, those aren't real warrants. I don't even have to look it up. I'm telling you, you don't have any warrants for your arrest.
Well, I'm only going by what I see. You know, picture's worth 1,000 words. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you coming here? I'll show you what I got.
Well, I mean, yes, sir. I'll be there in a minute, sir.
Okay.
So you know, like a whole line of people behind you.
I'm sorry.
Is there some reason why you're driving so slow?
Where are you going, dude?
Sir, I confused because I find hotel.
Find what?
Hotel.
Hotel?
Yes.
Oh.
Where are you supposed to go? Where are you going?
Near hotel.
A hotel?
What hotel?
Holiday.
The Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
Where at? What address? Where do you work for somebody?
No. Just because I am so tired.
What?
I am so tired.
You're tired? Okay, what are you doing?
What
are you doing?
work?
Who do you work for? Work for?
Chicago.
Chicago?
What? You just picked up a bag.
What?
You just picked up a bag from somebody.
Yes.
Where are you taking it?
Just taking 14 vehicle stop.
Where?
Around
my-
North County line.
What?
My friends.
Who's your friend?
One friend.
Who? Who is your friend?
Shut your car off. Take your seatbelt off.
Sit back.
Take your seatbelt off. Step out.
Come out.
Get out. Go back over there.
You have anything on you?
What?
No weapons?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
ID.
I have.
Stay over here. Hand me your ID, please. Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
I cannot see it because
You need an ambulance?
what?
You need an ambulance. Ryan, start fire rescue to our location, please.
Are you okay, Mr. Patel?
I cannot see. I see black.
Okay, we're gonna call an ambulance for you.
What?
We're gonna call an ambulance, and you.
What is that?
Put him in the grass so he's not on the hot
30.
asphalt,
Come on, buddy.
please.
Come on.
If you're just putting you over in the grass.
That way you're not on the hot asphalt.
Sit, 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 sit. You can sit.
Lean on me.
I can.
Lean back. I got you.
You're good.
Great.
There you go. That way you're not on the hot asphalt.
Because I drink water. I need drink water.
Okay. You got any water in your car?
No, I don't.
There's no water in there?
No.
Oh.
What water did you need to drink? What water were you gonna drink? Anything.
Feeling okay right now?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
So, you're from Chicago?
Yes.
What are you doing in Florida?
26.
Man, I said 30.
You feeling okay right now? That you're sitting in the shade? Okay. I'm going to read you something real quick, okay? Because I'm going to talk to you. I just want to make sure I'm going to read you your Miranda warnings, okay?
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to come to a lawyer and have them present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you do this. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer the questions in the emergency. Is there anything I just said to you? Okay. Because you're up and running, you want to talk to me? Yes? Is that a yes? Mr. Patel, how do you say your first name?
My first name is Tejaskumar.
Do you have a nickname?
No.
No. I'll just call you Mr. Patel.
Oh, okay.
So you're from Chicago,
Yeah.
and you're just here visiting right now?
Yes.
Whose car is this?
I rent them.
It's a rental? When did you come to Florida?
2 days ago.
2 days ago? And for what purpose?
Because my brother is here.
Oh,
His name Hardik Patel.
okay. But same last name, Patel? He lives here in Stewart?
He lives in Miami.
Miami? So what are you doing in Stewart right now?
But
What are you doing here right now in Martin County?
I go in nearby hotels and stay for Singapore. My hotel. Yes.
You,
Because I am so tired. I came from Miami
Uh-huh.
to drive this, and in morning I go beach.
you went to the beach this morning?
Yes, visit for beach, and then now I go nearby hotel.
You go to the hotel?
Yes,
Okay. And then where are you going to go? Are you going to go back to Miami?
yes, yes. When 2 hours stay and then go Miami,
Oh, okay.
and then
When are you going back to Chicago?
Yeah, today night.
Tonight?
Yeah,
Oh. Okay, you should probably sleep before you do that.
but
You should probably sleep before you do
yes,
that.
yes,
If you're tired.
yes.
So today, right now, you just got a package of gifts.
Yes.
From who? Who's that?
Relative,
Who?
my relative.
Your relative?
Yes.
That was your relative?
Yes,
Oh, okay. And where are you taking the package? Just back with you to Miami or Chicago or something?
Miami.
Okay. So the gift is for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have you seen that, Scott? Who's it? How's it your relative?
But
How is he your relative?
my father relative.
Your father's related to him?
Yes.
When was the last time you saw him?
Last time when I meet her,
When was that? Was that like a month ago?
no.
No? When was it?
2
2 months ago? A year ago?
3, 4 months.
3 or 4 months ago you saw him?
Yes.
Okay. And did he give you a gift then too?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And then what did you do with the gift after you got it? You just took it back to Chicago with you?
No.
Chicago with you?
No.
No? What did you do with it?
I took Miami.
You took it to Miami? And then did you keep it or did you give it to somebody?
He didn't say anything other than at 4 o'clock he has to call an Uber for his father who's getting out of work in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would like his phone back by 4. And he was wondering where his car was going.
Alpha 2210-4. Before I'll be in the house up front. Same property, but we'll be checking
Come in here.
the house in the back.
See how it's so easy to get in here and me to buckle you up? I gotta make it that way all over again. Gotta make it easy to buckle up. There we go. See? Alright. Come on out. You're going out.
Can I say one thing? One man told me that's why I can do this.
Huh?
One man told me.
One man, what are you talking about? One man what?
One man told me, so, you pick this and you drop in Miami. That's
A
why
man
I.
told you that?
Yes.
Who? What man?
I.
Oh, sure. All right, have a seat right here. Have a seat right here. Yep. And
You want to ankle one too or no?
all right, I will be right back. Okay, I'm gonna go put my stuff down, and then I'll be back in here. Okay? Good. Comfortable with your water?
Now you've seen the account of what happened before, and you've seen the arrest. Now let's take a look at the laws that are at play and the charges that Mr. Patel is facing. First, we have 2 counts of grand theft in the first degree. This is found at the Florida Statutes, section 812.014 2A1. This is defined as when a person steals property valued at over $100,000. This is a first-degree felony that carries up to 30 years in prison. Here we had first, the victim gave 2 kilos of gold worth more than $150,000 back then. I even gave you the numbers for now. That's worth over $213,000. That's in one incident. He gave 2 gold ingots. The second count is for the same thing, first degree grand theft, but it's based on a separate transaction. It's all in the same big scheme, but it's a separate day, separate transaction. He's coming back, and this time he's coming to get the rest of the gold he told them to liquefy. I understand the prosecutor charged these as separate offenses. It's because of the days involved. And it's up to the prosecutor how they want to charge these different things, okay? Next, we have organized fraud for $50,000 or more. This is found at the Florida Statute, section 817.034, section 4A1. This happens when a person participates in a scheme to defraud someone through a coordinated plan. This is also a first-degree felony. It carries a penalty of up to 30 years in prison. In this case, Patel was a go-between. He was a courier in this nationwide scam operation, and he was reporting to some handler, we found out later on, whose name is Rocky. And that's just from the information from the original video. This case is still ongoing. His next court date is scheduled in July at 1:30 p.m. in Martin County at the courthouse. Now, before we move on, let's talk about something that even a jury can't miss. The victims are elderly, or said even better, the victims are old here. This is in Florida, which traditionally was known as a place where elderly people moved to live. Now, it might not be known as that anymore, but there still are quite a few elderly retirement communities, especially in places like Stuart, Florida. There is a provision under the Florida statute at section 825.103, and it's called the exploitation of elderly persons. This law says that if you knowingly use deception to obtain assets from someone over the age of 60, and you do deprive them of that property, or even just for someone else's benefit, you can be charged with an additional felony. And you have to understand that even if this charge isn't filed, the fact that the victims were elderly can be used as an aggravating factor at sentencing. Now, if we look closer at the Florida sentencing guidelines, they do have a category for vulnerability enhancements, and elder victimization is a part of that. That means the court can consider the following once they get to the sentencing phase. Was the victim particularly vulnerable due to age or infirmity? Did the defendant target the victim because of that vulnerability? Was the loss especially devastating given the victim's limited ability to recover? Here, in this case, we're talking about someone's entire retirement handed over out of fear, confusion, and the belief they were protecting their life savings. Now that's more than a loss. That's a whole lifeline ripped away. So with that, let's move into our evidentiary standards next. Let's go through the 6 levels of the evidentiary standards in U.S. law. These go from the lowest gut feeling to the highest burden of proof. These thresholds guide how law enforcement can act and how prosecutors can charge, and finally, how jurors can decide guilt. Number 1, mere suspicion. This is the lowest level of evidence. It's that instinct when something feels off. An officer might observe odd behavior or nervousness, but there's no specific articulable facts linking the person to a crime. It's just a hunch, not a legal justification for detention or search. In this case, it began when Patel was spotted driving unusually slow in a travel lane. That alone wasn't enough to act, but it caught the officer's attention. Now, I have the eerie feeling that he was being followed by police, and that's why he was driving so slow. Number 2, reasonable suspicion. Now, we're stepping up. Reasonable suspicion means that the officer has specific and articulable facts that would lead a reasonable officer to believe that criminal activity is afoot. And that simply means criminal activity is happening right now. This standard allows a temporary detention, like a traffic stop, or an investigative stop, what's often called a Terry stop. And that's when you approach somebody on the street, ask them for their ID, things like that. All right. With Patel, once he admitted to picking up a package from someone he barely knew and gave conflicting stories about where he was going and who sent him, the officer had reasonable suspicion to detain and investigate further. Number 3, probable cause. This is the standard needed to make an arrest or to obtain a search warrant. It means there's a fair probability based on facts and circumstances that the person committed a crime, or the evidence of a crime can be found in a particular place. In Patel's case, probable cause was met when officers connected the bag in his possession to the ongoing fraud scheme. They verified the elder victim's statements and confirmed the value of the stolen gold. At that point, the evidence was strong enough to justify an arrest and a search warrant for the rental car. Number 4, preponderance of the evidence. This is the standard used in civil cases mostly. It means the evidence shows that it's more likely than not, or over 50% likely, that your claim is true. So we always say it takes about 51% of the evidence in your favor to win this type of case. If the elderly couple decide to file a civil lawsuit for fraud or damages, their attorneys would only need to prove this lower threshold. They just need 51% of the evidence in their favor. This body cam is almost enough to give you 51%. In essence, it's the legal version of the weight of the evidence tips slightly in your favor. Number 5, clear and convincing evidence. Now, this is a higher bar and is still used mostly in civil cases. Now, it does come up sometimes in a criminal context when you talk about defenses and bond hearings and things like that. This standard requires that the evidence be highly and substantially more likely to be true than not. We say it takes about 75% of the evidence in your favor to win this type of case. The fact finder must have a firm belief or conviction in the truth. This level is often required in certain fraud cases. You also have it in termination of parental rights, or to apply aggravating circumstances like the exploitation of the elderly. In Patel's case, prosecutors may need to meet this bar to prove that he knowingly took part in a scam that was targeting a vulnerable group, here senior citizens, not just acted as an uninformed delivery man. So they need to actually put him as being a part of that scheme. Number 6, beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the highest standard in American law. It applies in every criminal conviction. When a person goes to criminal trial, it means the jury must be firmly convinced of the defendant's guilt, and there's no other reasonable alternative. It doesn't require absolute certainty, all right? But we say it takes about anywhere from 90 to 95% of the evidence needs to point to the defendant being guilty. And what that means is simply there's no reasonable doubts remaining about whether the defendant committed this charge. For Patel to be convicted of grand theft, organized fraud, or any of these enhancements, prosecutors must meet this burden. And remember, the burden is always on the state and it's not on the person that's accused. You're innocent until proven guilty in the American justice system. Now, it's different other places, very different other places. All right, so with that, let's move into imagining ourselves being on this jury. All right, welcome back to jury duty. You, as one of the jurors in this case, are listening to the evidence, watching the body cam footage, and you're hearing the young man's claim. He's just tired, he's just visiting Florida, he's just picking up a gift from a friend or a relative. But every few minutes, his story changes. First, it's someone he knows, then it's a man who told him what to do, then a family connection, until he finally admits someone just gave him a package and told him to take it to Miami. My question: does it all sound like someone in the dark, or does it sound like someone who's deeply connected with this scheme? Let's talk about credibility, and that's the believability of what you hear. Did Patel ever express shock when the officer said gold was tied to the scam? Did he ask for help or explain how he was tricked? Or did he just go quietly? Think about how he reacted when he realized he was being arrested. He didn't resist. He didn't panic. He just shut down. Sometimes silence speaks volumes. Now, here, he really did a little bit more than just shut down, unless you consider almost fainting, really shutting down. Let's talk about your gut feeling, your intuition about this whole thing. Now, you've been watching people your whole life. You've seen when someone's nervous, confused, or when they're thinking about something and they're calculating. Ask yourself, when you view the video, were his pauses signs of confusion, or was he carefully editing what he should say and do next? Also, were his inconsistencies, were they mistakes, or was the script he was supposed to follow unraveling? Finally, we have the physical evidence. A Yum Yum box with gold bars in it. That would be quite yummy. This wasn't a regular package we have here. We had over $400,000 worth of gold in total that's been taken. All right, the first time he came down, he got him for $150,000. This time, got him for over $200,000. Let me ask you this. You've been around for a very long time. Relatives that you barely know don't give you that much money. Would you believe that if you were on this jury? If so, please leave a comment below. Here's what it all came down to. He had the gold. He had no clear explanation. He gave conflicting answers. The victims were elderly. He followed a plan right up until he got caught. Now it's up to you as a juror. Would you convict, or is there room for reasonable doubt? Leave your comment below. So, what did we see today? We saw a 21-year-old man who traveled across state lines, rented a car, showed up and collected what came to a grand total of $400,000 of gold from an elderly couple, all under the direction of a scammer known as Rocky. He claimed it all was a gift. He claimed it was from a relative, but the evidence said otherwise. We watched the deception unfold. We listened to the pain in the victim's voice, a senior citizen who truly believed he was trying to protect his life savings. And we saw law enforcement do their job, from a calm traffic stop to a lawful search to a structured arrest backed by probable cause. Patel is still now sitting in jail, facing 3 first-degree felonies. And prosecutors have a strong case, especially with the elder exploitation factor. They can increase the penalty if he's convicted. So, what did we learn from this? Never trust a voice on the phone just because it sounds official. Never transfer funds or valuables because someone says it's to protect your money. And if someone ever tells you, don't tell your family, that's the biggest red flag. These scams are designed to create urgency, to prey on fear, and to isolate you. They don't just steal your money, they destroy trust. What would you have done if you were the elderly man? Would you have caught on or fallen into the same story? Let me know in the comments. Was this all just mere suspicion, or did it rise to the level of beyond a reasonable doubt? You all let me know. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy, and I am Professor Ross. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, be smart, and have a good day.